Okay, well, we're carrying on our sort of journey around the people that actually run the River Royale, and I'm sorry about my glasses being really dark, but we were just outside. But I'm sitting with Eric Christophe. Eric Christophe is the hotel manager on board. You do a brilliant job, I've got to say.
Thank you.
And my waistline has expanded dramatically since I've been on board. But you're from Limoges, yes?
I'm from Limoges, that's right.
And now you call it Chinatown.
Yes, that's how Americans and people from all over the world know Limoges.
Mm-hmm. So how long have you been in cruising on riverboats?
Riverboats, 8 years, and 20 years before that, the sea ship.
Oh, really? Which ships?
Queen Elizabeth II for 14 years.
Excellent, good. So obviously a lot of that training and so on with the Cunard fleet is helpful to you now?
Yes, was the best actually ever. I've got a chance after 10 years of service with Cunard to go to Johnson & Wales University in Rhode Island.
Oh, wow.
For coaching and skill management.
Well done, good. Well, it clearly shows. Tell me about your passion, though, for this, because you obviously clearly believe in this boat and in also the delivery of fabulous food, great service, just the whole hotel side is so well run. Tell me about your view of it all.
Well, this boat is considering almost as mine because I've seen it born in the shipyard. And I took that boat when it was just out of the shipyard.
Wow.
So I know it really clearly since the beginning. It's like having a baby, you know. And I enjoy being here in France because I'm French.
Yep.
So obviously I discovered my country more in the last 8 years that I never did in 20 years before.
Amazing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. And I still work with English-speaking passengers, which is my main target.
Yeah. It's a good combination, though, isn't it? Because A, it's a product you love in a country you love,
yes,
with the passengers you want to work with.
Yeah.
So, in terms of the food on board, and do the chefs and so on report to you as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I have all the hospitality department, which includes cabin, galley, and bar and restaurant.
So how do you maintain the standard of food all the time? Because you know a restaurant is only as good as the last meal it served. How do you do it?
Well, we have lots of station meetings with our executive chef. We have a corporate chef for France, which is taking care of the two ships, the one on the Seine, the one here on the Rhone. And we have some shoreside people like Valrhona, who is giving training to our pastry chef on chocolate. And every time we have session, like in Lyon, we have a huge event of catering. We send our chef there, so they got to know the latest technology that we can use in galley, and we always ask them to look for new recipe, to new technology, and as well we look very into the survey, and we know exactly what passengers are expecting coming to France, what kind of food they would like to see. We have, for example, last evening you had the escargot. At the same time last year we used to have the frog legs. Nobody wanted the frog legs. So this is how we make up the menu cycle on board.
Okay, but this it's very difficult sometimes. You know, you can be great on the main course or great on the appetizer, but then the desserts don't quite work and so on. You guys seem to have a pretty good consistency.
Yes, because we have every chef has his specialty. We have a chef for the sauce, we have a pastry chef, we have a chef for the fish, and we have the executive, which is overseeing everything.
Now, you know, whilst this is a fairly English-speaking dominated vessel,
yes,
South Africans, Americans, Australians,
New
Canadians,
Zealand.
New Zealand, we're all slightly different, even though we speak a common language. How do you achieve that balance? You know, maybe Americans are sometimes a bit more conservative than maybe Australians or Brits or whatever. Do you see any issues there, or...?
No, it's only the way of presenting it at the very beginning, and we try to include everybody as the part of the family. That's true. Sometimes Americans are more difficult than Australian or New Zealand. But all in all, since 3 years that we work with all those nationalities together, it worked really well. And this year, I must admit that with the dollar going down since a few months, we see more and more Australian, more South African. So the balance is better now. The first year we could have like 80 Americans, 2 Australian, 2 New Zealand, so they felt a bit left aside. But now they're getting more and more, so the balance is equal.
Okay. For the travel industry in Australia and New Zealand, what do you think are the key features of this boat? You know, for them selling the Rhone Saône and selling this boat as well. What do you think are the key things they should use in their selling?
They should use especially for Australians, which are coming a long way. We know it's 34 hours flight, and They should serve the combi, what we call the combi, from starting in Paris, then coming down to the Rhone. They got to see the whole France, at least the three major cities: Paris, Marseille, and Lyon.
It's called Royal France.
It's called the Grand France.
The Grand France.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you start from the north of France and you go all the way down to the French Riviera.
Oh, fantastic! Good. And then on board, though, I mean, if people are nervous about sort of experimenting with food and so on, what's your answer to that?
Well, it's a discovery, every day. It's a local discovery. It's being home away from home.
Yeah, good. I'd like you to say just one more thing to the sort of trade in Australia and New Zealand, in English first as a bit of a welcome, and what you think are the key things why people should come on this boat, and then you can say it in French, so that all the girls would like to hear it in French, okay?
So why the River Royale? First of all, because it is the latest released ship by Uniworld. It's a beautiful ship. It's been designed by the designer of the company. It's very French, very confined and very well-appointed room. As you can see here, behind the lounge is somewhere you want to stay. And in French,
oui.
La France sera toujours la France. C'est le pays de l'amour, le pays des belles choses. Donc, on vous attend nombreux à bord du River Royale.
Eric, merci. Thank
Merci
you very
beaucoup.
much indeed.
Thank you.
This is John Alwyn-Jones reporting for Travel Mode TV from the River Royale with Eric Christophe. And guys, you've got to try it.